Hello everyone and welcome to Barca News. It's October 30th, 2022 and more names have been added to the list of possible replacements for Sergio Busquets. Also, it's reported that PSV Eindhoven could be selling Cody Gakpo this winter transfer market for an incredibly low price. And a new report has emerged stating that Barcelona will sign Lionel Messi in the winter transfer market. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and we'll begin with the news that Barcelona defeated Valencia 0-1 yesterday at the Mestalla in a very difficult match. Now the team had a very poor performance yesterday and once again I didn't see any collective play, nor did I see any attacking strategy in place or any attacking mechanisms. Now I didn't see any fast movement of the ball, any fast transition, any triangulation, any first touch passes. All I saw was players running forward with the ball at their feet and going as far as they could, and once they couldn't go any further they would either lose the ball or make a safe pass to another teammate who then would do the same exact thing. Now, despite the team's poor performance, Barcelona were able to pull a victory in the last minute where Robert Lewandowski came to the rescue of the team and scored a goal in stoppage time. Now, this was a very important victory for Barcelona because with the elimination from the Champions League, winning La Liga is now a must for the team, and with yesterday's victory, Barcelona were able to take home 3 very important points that will allow the team to stay in the race for La Liga. Now, yesterday's victory was also very important because it's going to go a long way in boosting the team's morale after being eliminated in the Champions League and after suffering a humiliating defeat to Bayern Munich 0-3 at the Spotify Camp Nou. Now, Xavi, in the post-match conference, he admitted that the team were very anxious and that they played anxiously. So hopefully yesterday's victory will go a long way in restoring the team's confidence, and hopefully we'll start seeing the team performing better on the field. Now, despite the team's poor performance, I was very impressed with their mentality, where they fought until the last second and they didn't give up despite all the setbacks that they faced in the match, such as bad refereeing and getting their 2 center backs injured and having to leave the field early. Now, once again, there was bad refereeing in yesterday's match, specifically when Valencia's defender was seen kicking Rafinha when Barcelona were counter-attacking, despite Rafinha not being close to the ball or even having the ball himself. Now, usually when there's a foul, it's a defender trying to get the ball away from the player and they end up kicking the player by accident. But this time Rafinha did not have the ball, nor was he any close to the ball. So the fact that he was kicked, that means that was not an accident and there was absolute aggression. And according to the rules, an aggression should be met with a red card. But once again, the VAR and the referee favored Barcelona. Now also, Barcelona's both center backs got injured during the match and had to leave the field early. And the club have conducted medical exams on both Eric Garcia and Jules Koundé. And Barcelona have confirmed that Eric Garcia has suffered a muscle strain to his hip. And they have confirmed that Jules Koundé has suffered a muscle strain to his thigh in his left leg. Now these 2 injuries sounded the alarms in Barcelona because Ronald Araujo and Andreas Christensen are already injured, and with these 2 extra injuries it meant that 4 out of the 5 center backs had gotten injured and only Gerard Piqué was the remaining healthy center back. However, there is good news, and it seems that both Eric Garcia and Jules Koundé's injuries are only muscle strains, and it's expected that they could come back next weekend when Barcelona face off against Almeria. Now, this means that neither center back is going to be available for Tuesday's match in the Champions League against Victoria Pilsen. So it's expected that Barcelona are going to start Gerard Piqué and Marcos Alonso as center backs. And it's also being reported that Andreas Christensen could be coming back for that match, so he could also be an option. Now, Real Madrid drew their match today against Girona 1-1, and as a result, Barcelona are now only 1 point behind the La Liga's leaders. Now, with yesterday's victories, several records were set. The first one is that Xavi has now collected the most points in the first 12 matches in the last 5 seasons. Now, Xavi has been able to collect 31 points in the first 12 matches as opposed to Ronald Koeman's 17 points and Ernesto Valverde's 24 and 25 points. Now, Xavi has also equaled Pep Guardiola's record in a season, and he has also become the 5th coach in Barcelona's history with the most points in a season. Now, Xavi has not led Barcelona in a full season, but if you add the matches from this season plus the matches from last season, he now has 38 matches total as the coach of Barcelona, and that is exactly the whole length of a La Liga season. And in these 38 matches, Xavi has been able to equal Pep Guardiola's record, where he has been able to obtain the same exact exact victories, same exact ties, and same exact losses as one of the greatest coaches in the history of Barcelona, which is Pep Guardiola. Also, Xavi has now become the 5th coach in the history of Barcelona with the most points, with the number 1 being Tito Vilanova, who was able to get 100 points in one season. Luis Enrique in 2nd place, who was able to get 94 points in one season. Ernesto Valverde, who's in 3rd place, who was able to get 93 points in one season. Elenio Herrera, who was able to get 90 points in one season. And in 5th place, it's Xavi, tied with Pep Guardiola and Tata Martino with 87 points. Now, just a reminder that these statistics are based on adding the matches of Xavi from this season plus the matches from last season. So he could end up surpassing Pep Guardiola's record and climbing even further in the rankings of Barcelona coaches once the season is over. Because when Xavi took over last season, he took over Ronald Koeman's team and he wasn't doing that good. However, this season he has a better team with better players and he's doing much better this season. So when this season ends, Xavi could end up breaking Pep Guardiola's record and climbing higher in the rankings. Now, Xavi Hernandez was not the only person who set a record with yesterday's victory. Robert Lewandowski has now become the 2nd highest player in the history of La Liga to score goals in the first 12 matches of the Spanish league. And also Marc ter Stegen has added further to his record that he had already set last week, where he's now the only goalkeeper in the history of La Liga who's been able to maintain 10 clean sheets in the first 12 matches of the Spanish league. Now, as I've discussed in my previous videos, Barcelona are gonna be looking to make signings in the winter transfer market to reinforce the squad, and 2 of their main objectives will be to reinforce the right back position and to find a replacement for Sergio Busquets, whose contract will expire at the end of the season in the summer of 2023. Now, a new name has been added to the list of possible replacements for Sergio Busquets, and that name is Bruno Guimaraes. Now, I don't speak Portuguese, so hopefully I didn't butcher that name, but if there is anyone watching who does speak Portuguese, please tell me below in the comments whether I pronounced that name correctly, and if I didn't, please let me know how to do it. Now, Bruno Guimaraes is a 24-year-old Brazilian midfielder who currently plays at the Premier League club Newcastle, and he joined Newcastle in January of 2022 after leaving the Ligue 1 club Lyon. Now, it's reported that Barcelona are impressed with the Brazilian midfielder, and they have added his name to the list of possible replacements for Sergio Busquets, along with several names that I have discussed with you before in previous videos, such as Wolverhampton's midfielder Ruben Neves, Leicester City's midfielder Yuri Tillmans, and Ajax midfielder Edson Alvarez. Now, another player that Barcelona are considering as a possible replacement for Sergio Busquets is Manchester City's midfielder İlkay Gündoğan. Now, Gundogan's contract will expire with Manchester City in the summer of 2023, and it's reported that the Turkish-German player does not want to renew his contract with the Premier League club, and as a result, Barcelona are now considering signing the Turkish-German midfielder. Now, İlkay Gündoğan is reportedly one of the favorite players on this list for Barcelona because not only has he impressed Matteo Alemany and Jordi Cruyff, but it's also reported that Xavi and his coaching staff are also very impressed with the Manchester City's midfielder. Now, as I reported in a previous video, Barcelona are now engaged in a battle with Real Madrid to sign the Brazilian sensation Vitor Roque. Now, Roque is a 17-year-old forward who currently plays for Atlético Paranaense, and he is a very coveted player as he's considered a future star of the footballing world. Now, Barcelona are considering making an offer for the Brazilian forward this winter transfer market, and Vitor Roque has recently made statements about his possibility of him joining Barcelona or Real Madrid. Now, the Brazilian sensation said that he doesn't have a preference and it would be a dream to join either side, so we're gonna have to see whether Vitor Roque is gonna join Barcelona or Real Madrid. Now, as I reported in a previous video, Barcelona are currently monitoring Cody Gakpo as a possible future signing for the team. Now, Cody Gakpo is a 23-year-old winger who currently plays for PSV Eindhoven, and he's been doing so good in the Dutch league that it has caught the attention of Barcelona. Well, it's now being reported that PSV Eindhoven could consider selling Cody Gakpo this winter transfer market for as low as 30 million euros because they seem to be facing some financial troubles. Now, if this report does prove right, I really hope that Barcelona try to sign Cody Gakpo because not only is he an absolute beast in the wing, but also they're gonna be selling him for 30 million euros as opposed as 90 million euros, which was the asking price during this past summer transfer market. Now, we will end today's video with the news that a new report has emerged stating that Barcelona will sign Lionel Messi in the winter transfer market. Now, I've talked about this topic several times before in my previous videos. Every time that a report emerges that saying that Barcelona are gonna sign Lionel Messi in the summer, in the winter, or whenever, I've always said the same exact thing, and that's that those reports are absolutely false. Now, Barcelona have confirmed time and time again that there are no communications between the club and the player. And Lionel Messi has also confirmed time and time again that he is not going to make any decisions in regards to his future until after the 2022 Qatar World Cup. Now, what makes this report even more far-fetched that it states that Barcelona are going to sign Lionel Messi in a winter transfer market, and Lionel Messi's contract with PSG will not expire until the summer. Now, PSG have absolutely no intention of selling Lionel Messi, so even if Barcelona did attempt to sign the Argentinian in a winter transfer market, there is no way that PSG would agree to selling their the best player in the entire world. Now, even if PSG did decide to sell Lionel Messi, you can only imagine how much the Parisian side are gonna be asking for the best player in the world, and there would be no way that Barcelona would be able to afford that asking price. So as I've told you in many of my previous videos, don't be fooled by any of the reports stating that Lionel Messi is going to be joining Barcelona in the winter, in the summer, or tomorrow, because the player has not made any decisions and none of these reports are true. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I'd like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I'd like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video, and as always, Peace, Barça.